Hi all, this is Susie, and we have Shanda here with Inner Child Wellness, and I want to ask Shanda a few questions regarding her center in Key West that she's just now opening that will offer all these wonderful services. And then we also have the location here, which is where I'm located on 30A, and it's the 30A paddleboard hut, and there you will find sound baths, energy clearing, which our counterpart Amber will lead. And in the coming months, we will be advertising for Shanda's retreats in Key West. Okay, so the first question that I have, what would you say to someone feeling unsure about energy clearing and the benefits?
That is a great question, Susie. I get that pretty much on a daily basis. For some reason, it's still sort of new to people, and that's okay. I remember we kind of look back and back in the 1900s, back in the late 90s, that sounds so long ago, but back in the late 90s, something like a cell phone was really new, and now we cannot imagine living without it. And even though energy healing is nothing new at all whatsoever, it's just now becoming more of the mainstream and more of a thing that's accessible to people. And that's a really great thing, because we are energy. Everything is energy. Your computer is energy. The desk that it sits on is energy. And we have a relationship to all energy. And so when we are able to understand that we're energy first and everything around us is energy, it can really make life a heck of a lot better, because you can control and manipulate and energize your own self and your relationship with everything around you. For instance, if I'm in a relationship with someone, let's say a spouse, a mate, a business partner, that person may do things that really annoy me. That's just the nature of relationship, right? So I love them, that's great, but, and I work with clients with this all the time, if they do that thing again, I'm going to lose my mind, right? Those little annoyances and so forth. And when we don't understand that we are energy and we have an energetic relationship to everything, we think that there's nothing that we can do to affect a change in something that's outside of us. However, the reality is when we understand that we have a consciousness and an energy that is pulsing. I have an energetic billboard. We all have an energetic billboard that everybody else in the world and law of attraction is relating to. So if I have something on my energetic billboard that is an unresolved wound of victimhood, say from 20 years ago, it's uncanny. It's not uncanny, but if we're unaware of that, we're like, why does the same thing keep happening? Well, it's this billboard that is magnetically attracting similar things to you. Once we see the stuff that's there, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to attract any more victimhood experiences. So we can go in and change the energetic structure and the magnetic charge on something that's in our biofield, in our electricity, and create new experiences. So for instance, if somebody is in a relationship and the person is chronically not doing what you want them to do, they are probably feeling judged, or whatever the emotion or the dynamic is. And so we discover what I call like your polarity code of, this is when this person does this, I react in this way. And it's kind of like Groundhog Day, like I'm doing the same thing, I'm getting the same result. Well, when it's not the result that you want, we can go and change you and change your energy, and then they have to behave in a different way. And it's amazing and magical, but it's really pretty simple. And so energy healing can work to change anything in your life. It can change the way your body looks and feels. It can change the way that you attract things into your life. It can change relationships. It can change your level of abundance. It can change your level of peace and confidence and so forth. So I really haven't found too many things that it's just like, well, we can do everything but that. And that's been a challenge for me, is trying to describe in a very short time period what all can energy healing and sound meditation do for you. So anyway, long answer to a short question, but that's what you get. So keep going.
Right. And thank you for that. Well, I mean, I've had the opportunity of being, your client for a while now, and I have taken the energy clearing session several times, and I can say it is a life changer, game changer. There's nothing else like it on the planet, and I was looking for something outside of yoga, meditation, exercise, those are all great things. But I was looking to, let's say, level up my journey,
nice.
my overall health, my overall wellness, my thought process every day. The things that used to bother me so much, they don't. And I can't say enough.
That's wonderful, Susie. This. Yes. Awesome.
And so, this is great. My next question for you, what are some of the issues that can arise which would lead someone like yourself to someone like yourself?
Oh, wow. I've worked with people literally on the brink of divorce where they're just like, I cannot be with this person anymore. It's so bad. They can't stand it, literally. And the cool thing is after we go through and find their polarity code, find the thing that they keep reacting to, and we can flip that. It's layer by layer by layer by layer by layer over the course of a very short period of time compared to the number of years that it takes to get to that point of I'm at a breaking point, I can't do it anymore, usually in a matter of a few weeks, going from the absolute brink of divorce, like I'm contacting an attorney, I'm separating everything, to being totally back in love. That's an amazing journey, an amazing thing to be able to provide for somebody. So it can work to heal relationships, even relationships, believe it or not, and this is probably a little too woo-woo for some people, but relationships even after a person has passed, because it's still energy. And so how you feel about the person, even if they've passed, whether it's a parent or a grandparent or even a child or a spouse or whatever, you still have an energetic relationship with that person. And so if you're holding judgment or unforgiveness or anything that is like you sipping poison every day, then it can be healed and transformed so that you're able to hold love inside of you for the other person, and then you're no longer being poisoned, and you're no longer being miserable, and then attracting more of those situations to you via, that's in your energetic billboard. Law of attraction keeps bringing you more of it in work situations and all the relationships that you have with yourself, those same we'll call programs running. So we're able to just completely transform that. A lot of times people come to me with health issues where they have maybe been diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. A lot of times Western medicine really doesn't handle autoimmune very well, unfortunately. I kind of describe it, you can't fix an energetic problem, an energy leak, with chemistry. So we just look at like, okay, your body is dying to tell the story of when, we all have that story. I was really healthy until, and there's always that. So one of the best tools I have for that is a magnetic body scan, and it's a very sophisticated machine that uses the same technology as a lie detector test, and it basically asks your autonomic nervous system. It's not my conscious mind to your conscious mind trying to figure things out. We simply take it to the autonomic nervous system, and the nervous system gets to tell the story of, well, there was an accident, or then an exposure to a toxin, and then this trauma, and that's just when things started reaching a toxicity level that the body got overwhelmed. And so it's a pretty simple process of taking it back layer by layer to where the body is able to resolve those unresolved issues, and then remove the toxicity, heal up anything that still needs to be healed, and there's no longer what they call an autoimmune response. Have lots of different case studies with that. Other things, sometimes people they don't really know their purpose. They don't know their calling. They don't know their purpose. And I'm able to help them reconnect that. So I could talk for another hour about that one question, but maybe some of that kind of sheds some light for people. People who have a lot of anxiety, that's usually a message from that person's higher self of like, hey, I'm trying to get your attention that we need to make a course correction, or what you're feeling right now really isn't true. And so sometimes that's a nudge, and it can be a powerful nudge, especially if somebody's at that anxiety level where they're having panic attacks and so forth. So it's this part of you that's saying like, hey, wake up. There's something is not quite right here. And just putting a chemical on that, I've never ever seen that work. You might get a temporary relief, but it's actually creating much deeper problems, and it never addressed the original issue that your body, your soul are trying to get resolved. And the work that I do is getting all the way to the root of where that first disconnect happened, and we're literally going back and reconnecting that circuit that got disconnected, that is then electrocuting you, where you're having that anxiety and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm being electrocuted. So yeah, there's just a couple examples.
Wow, wonderful answer.
Thank you.
You actually touched on when you said old programming. That was a big one for me when I came to my session. And, I can tell you that things have changed dramatically just right after my first session.
Awesome.
I was able to recognize the old programming, and I was able to release it, and it wasn't, bothering me in my life anymore. I had 5 new clients right after my first session because of the blocks that things
beautiful.
Were, how I was creating them. It's just, again, it's life-changing. And thank you again for that wonderful answer.
Oh,
and so I think from after your energy clearing, there's a sound bath that you offer weekly, which I go to here locally, but you also have them in Key West.
Yes.
You'll actually be doing them simultaneously tonight.
Yes.
So, tell us the benefits of a sound bath and why to keep going regularly.
Awesome. So yeah, the sound bath is a really powerful way, and I for a lot of people, it's sort of an introduction to sound healing, because it doesn't require any talking. It doesn't require any like revealing any of your the baggage in your closet or whatever. You all you have to do is show up. That's all I say. Just show up and be just ready to sit and be loved and just receive. So you just show up. We have comfortable seating either on a yoga mat or in these really cool beanbag chairs. It's just kind of a different experience that you have each time depending on the position that you're in and where you are in the room. And it's a concert of healing tones where these tones will have an interaction with your body's electromagnetic field. And some of the tones, just like we call it a cellular massage, a sonic massage. So the sound waves are particular tones or frequencies that are designed to have an effect on the body. One of the types of sound bath that Amber and I are typically doing, Amber on 30A and me in Key West, we're doing a chakra healing sound bath. And with that, we're basically moving different tones or activating different tones and frequencies in a specific series to awaken, clear, and dislodge anything in your body's energy centers. We have 7 chakras or energy centers in the body, and it's a beautiful, like getting a cleanse of your electromagnetic field. I was just describing this earlier today to someone about the sound bath, and your energy field, this bioplasma, this electromagnetic stuff that is beyond your skin is alive. It's a part of you. It is very intelligent and extremely reactive, and a lot of people, they're like, well, I don't get that, because if I can't touch it, how can I believe in it? But all of us have it, and we're aware of it, because if somebody is standing behind you in the grocery store and they're too close, you're like, get out of my bubble. You can feel them. And so if you're able to feel that, it is a part of you. So this big electromagnetic bubble, or this energy field around you, is constantly being bombarded by sounds, by negativity. If you're working in an office situation and somebody that's right next to you, they're just chronically negative, it is affecting you. It's depleting your vibe or your chi. And what the sound bath does is it goes in, it's basically cleansing it. It's cleansing it and refilling in the gaps that are created by those insults, or those things that create fragmentation, like an electromagnetic frequencies, like really disturbing noises, that like really loud machinery, that sort of thing. So we're constantly being bombarded, and most of us are in a state of just go 24/7. And the sound bath is time for you to just be able to get into a place and be really calm, really peaceful. And unlike meditation, I'm not a good meditator, as in, because I'm really hyper and I'm go all the time. And to ask me to stop all that in the middle of the day and just sit and be really still and quiet, I crawl out of my skin. So the difference in this, a sound bath is often called a sound meditation. The difference is it gives your brain something to do. So your body becomes really still, and then your brain gets to focus on a sound. And you're going to have an experience with the sound, as far as where you feel it in your body. There might be an emotion associated with it, and so forth. And by the time your brain kind of gets used to that sound, there's another sound. And so it gives it something to do before it gets bored. And so it's a really beautiful transition between the go beta brainwave of I've got to be out in the world and making things happen, kind of that anxiety sort of brainwave, and it brings it down, nice and slowly, to take you to a place through the different brainwaves down into neutral. And neutral is where the body can really, really heal, where you're having a connection to the divine, a connection to your higher self. And people that come and have an experience once, it's for most people, it's usually very calming. You get your best night's sleep, and it's overall healing. But where I really see benefits is when people are coming on a regular basis, they're really moving in their lives. They're moving on a level that we don't really have words for. But I know in my personal experience, when I started doing the sound baths on a regular basis for people after Hurricane Michael, I saw what it was doing for me and what it was doing for everybody else, and I was like, let's do some more. And it peels layers. Every sound bath that you come to, you're having a different experience with it. So it's a wonderful thing. We kind of become a fun community for each other too. And I've had a lot of people that are making connections through a sound bath that they're not able to make in a bar or in any other kind of social scene. So there's just so many benefits to it. I love it. So yay, sound bath.
Yay.
Every Tuesday.
Thank you so much. Yes, for me, sound baths literally, when I leave, I feel like I'm floating on a cloud.
Yeah.
And the creative side of me, the designer side of me, gets, tons of information during this time. So it's a good thing that you're sitting quietly and, the sound bath is literally just cleansing your mind.
Yes.
But you're also able to see things maybe that you weren't really seeing before.
Yeah, become more productive. Right, right.
Yes. So yay on the sound bath. I want to discuss the exciting venture that you're going to start in 2020, and it's going to be, oh my goodness, like so successful, which are the retreats. And I know you have a lot of wonderful different types. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
The benefits of a retreat and kind of what you're going to offer.
Awesome. All right, so my intention with the retreat is basically to provide people the best of the best, as in so many people love Key West. They love this beautiful playground. It's a subtropical climate, and so it's warm and beautiful the whole year round. The water is absolutely amazing. The sea life will just like blow your mind, having these interactions with nature. And so that's a no-brainer already. And it's been such a healing place for me, this little magical island and her beautiful, friendly people. And so that in and of itself is an amazing experience. So I highly recommend people to come to Key West and have that. What's different about the retreat versus just coming to Key West on your own is we're going to provide for you my pick of the best of the best places in Key West, having lived here on and off since 1992. But instead of just being on vacation, we're gonna kind of work everything in your energy field from the background and the foreground at the same time to do this cellular reprogramming that we're talking about, of finding and clearing the things that are keeping you stuck in your day-to-day life. And even if you don't feel like that you're stuck, taking you, like you said, like leveling up, taking you to that next level of clarity, next level of abundance, next level of support in your relationships, next level of understanding who you really are, where to put your energy, invest your energy to get your dreams coming true, your highest and best. And so that's kind of the difference in what we're aiming to offer in these retreats versus just a vacation. And then these retreats, kind of compared to other retreats that are available, a lot of retreats you're given a lot of time just sort of on your own. You might have one yoga class a day, maybe 2 yoga classes a day. And I love yoga, don't get me wrong. It's a foundation, it's a wonderful thing. It's something that really kickstarts people to awaken their consciousness. And we offer yoga in some of the retreats depending on what we're doing. But my next level, the beyond yoga, is working with the sound healing, the energy healing, and teaching you skills and tangible techniques, real life. When I am triggered by this, how can I implement what I've learned into a new creation, of creating something new for my life? And I think we were talking about this just the other day. It's like if you're going someplace and you learn to drive a car, and you drive that car one day for maybe about an hour, and you don't drive again for a year, and then you come back and you're going to go back to that place and you're going to drive a car again. A lot of you is going to have to learn that all over. You're going to have to learn it from scratch. What we're trying to do in an extended time retreat is this immersion. And in immersion, you're driving for several hours every day. So if you're driving several hours every day, when you go home after a week, you know how to drive. And that's the point of the retreat, is that you're not just learning a new skill through watching a video or reading it in a book. You're actually experiencing it live, and you are practicing it every day and knowing when to use it. The other part of the retreats, and again, depending on which one, we offer support after the retreat. So I have online video courses, I have one-on-one work that is offered to you. So when you come to the retreat and you make these big upgrades in your life, once you go back into your normal life, you're different. And so it's up to you to kind of create a new relationship with all those energies in your life. So we're here to support you beyond the retreat. And all the retreats are really small and intimate. I know a lot of places, they're rocking like 30 and 50 people in a retreat. I can't imagine doing that, because my gifts and my joy is really getting to know people and helping them at the highest and best level. And I haven't gotten to where I can do that with 50 people at a time. So right now is a great opportunity, because the retreats are going to be really small and intimate.
Yes. And also the price, the introductory price is mind-blowing, because I know that you can't do anything in Key West for these prices right now. A hotel alone will be the cost of the retreat.
True.
And you get so much more, obviously, out of the retreat. And plus, you're a local, so you know all the great spots. I think you were mentioning about you want to bring something with, soul, versus just anybody can go on a vacation, anybody can go to a resort, but you actually have the meat and the potatoes of Key West.
Yes.
And getting to that authentic, real Key West. So I think that's a benefit in itself.
Yes, thank you. I'm so excited about it, because every place changes, and the whole feel of Key West it's still so beautiful and amazing, but there are new sparkly things that I would say are kind of like Disney, where they look real pretty kind of on the shell or the outside, but then you taste it and you're like, well, it has no flavor at all. And so I'm going to always go for where's the most flavor? Where is that juicy, soulful part that just warms your body from the inside out, as far as the people and the food and the sunshine and just having an easy flow. And those are the things that you get from living in a place for so many years, that you're not necessarily going to get just picking something online and booking that and coming. So I can't wait.
Yeah. Yay! And I get the privilege of coming and checking it out for myself.
Yes.
So look forward to following me on this wonderful journey that I get to take with Shanda and one of her fabulous retreats. So definitely stay tuned for all the footage on that.
Yay.
And I thank you so much.
All right, Susie, thank you.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time and your interest, and just letting everybody share in your journey, because I always tell people, if you've had an experience in any of this work that we do that has helped you, please share it with somebody else, because your story, your testimony might be the thing that relates to them, that then allows them to line up with it. And a lot of people still don't know about what any of this stuff is. And so thank you for the work that you're doing for everybody that it gets to have a transformation for themselves because of what you're doing right now. And I just couldn't be happier. Obviously I love that you're investing the time and kind of paying it forward and paying it back at the same time. But whether it's, I always say that it's three. A lot of times we have to hear something 3 times. That 3 is that magic number. And I know you were referred to me by a friend. And so even if whoever you're reaching with this and we're reaching with this, it might be the first time they've heard something like this. They might need to hear this 2 more times before it clicks for them. But if you're also watching, this might be your 3rd time hearing it. So this might be like, boom, it just lined up. I get it and I'm ready. So wherever you are in that process, I just send you the best wishes and just supporting you on your journey wherever you are in it. And the thing that I always tell people is no matter what something looks like on the outside. We're all here working on something. So, yeah,
definitely.
we're all here. We're all here, and we're here to love you and support you
Tremendously.
Oh, well, Susie,
on all levels.
Thank you.
Yes, and I was looking for that. I was looking for that next level, and you definitely brought it, because I was in a place of uncertainty, not knowing which direction to go. I had blocks. I had old programming running. I had things that were going on inside of me that I had no idea. And you just shed a light on all of it. And the biggest one is to love myself. To love and honor myself was the biggest one. And I think everybody can relate to that one.
Yes.
I think we all need to do this. And then, of course, the biggest part for me is that I get to share this, and I get to share the love and the light with everything that I've learned on this journey. So I thank you so very much.
Susie, you're so precious. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see all these new things that are coming for you. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. Namaste. The website for getting info about any of the services, either by phone. I do a lot of work via distance. If you're not in a position to be able to come to Key West, don't think that this help is not available to you. So we do phone work, distance work, and the website is Namaste, NAMASTEKW, or NamasteKeyWest.com. Either one just forwards to the other. But we'll post a little link with that wherever that tech stuff goes. We'll have NamasteKeyWest.com. So,
yay!
Thank you, Susie.
Perfect. So one last thing I'll touch on, since you brought up the phone, that you actually will do it remotely, because I think the last time we were going to have a session, I thought you were still here. And you were actually in Key West.
Yep.
And we were able to do a session over the phone, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't know about this, but oh my goodness, I can tell you, I was so changed after that tapping session, and we'll get into that a little bit more, and also you can read about it on Shanda's website, but that is actually the best therapy that you will ever have in your life.
Oh, Susie, you're so sweet. Thank you. But yeah, the phone work is powerful, and putting all this together. When I first got into this back in 2008, doing this professionally, I was like, all right, there's one of me, and there's so many people. So the idea was like, how can I help as many people and not necessarily just have to be in the room with them and working one-on-one. So the phone has been really powerful way to connect, and I love it. And in fact, sometimes I can connect better by phone because there's fewer distractions, and it just creates this like laser flip focus.
Yes. Oh, so wonderful. And I so thank you for your time.
Susie, thank you.
For 2020 to see these retreats, to experience them, to see all the wonderful things you do.
Thank you, Susie, and we will be in touch, and I'm excited at 2020 vision. Here we come.
Okay.
We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye.